What's cracking? Justin here from Gnomish Adventures. What does an electric moped and electric kick scooter have in common? NIU figured it out. They tackled the real problem of traffic jams and pollution. In this episode, we're going to tell you why I think, in my estimation, NIU is the best electric scooter on the market for adventure riding. If you're like us, we started off with entry-level scooters, the 0 to 15 mile per hour, tier 1 type of scooter. And in those, you have throttles that as soon as you touch it, the wheels start spinning. They feel real flimsy when you ride them. You go to brake and you lean forward because the thing's so flimsy that you can't even lean backwards to brake, and you feel like you're going to flip over the handlebars. Well, NIU has figured that out. They have a locking mechanism on their column that makes it solid. I mean, rock solid. So when you're riding on this thing, it doesn't even feel like it folds down. It feels like it's one continuous piece. And they also have a kickstart. A lot of people in the scooter world, they don't necessarily like it. I love it because that means for me to engage the throttle, I have to get it going first by kicking off and get it rolling, and then I can engage the throttle. So how does this help you? Well, with those new scooters, I won't say any names, but I was lifting one up to put it in my vehicle, and I accidentally, when I was lifting it up, I accidentally hit because I was going to do this real quick. I'm not going to fold it up. I'm just going to throw it in. We're going to go down the street. We're going to be at the park, and then I'll jump out. So as I'm lifting it up, my finger hits the throttle, the back wheel spins, and it burns up and takes hairs off my shin. It was a painful experience. I never did that again. So it's really important that you find a scooter that has functions that you can appreciate. And for me, NIU is that scooter. What's that sound you say? It's time for a moment.
Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the world of electric mobility, exploring the impressive NIU Pro electric scooter. Let's start with its origins. The NIU brand hails from Beijing, China, with the NIU Pro electric scooter debuting in 2017. Since its inception, NIU has been at the forefront of smart urban mobility solutions. Founded in 2014, the company quickly garnered attention for its innovative approach to electric scooters. NIU has been a game changer in the e-scooter industry, focusing on delivering environmentally friendly transportation solutions. The technology packed into the NIU Pro electric scooter sets it apart. Equipped with a high-efficiency brushless motor, it offers smooth and reliable performance. The scooter's tech-savvy features include a smart app that keeps you connected to your scooter, providing real-time diagnostics, anti-theft alerts, and GPS tracking. It's truly revolutionizing how we think about urban commuting. Under the hood, the NIU Pro is powered by a robust lithium-ion battery developed in partnership with Panasonic, LG, and Samsung. The battery offers an impressive range, allowing riders to cover up to 50 miles on a single charge, making it perfect for urban commutes. In terms of speed, the scooter can reach up to 20 miles per hour, ensuring you get to your destination swiftly. The battery's lifespan is noteworthy too. On average, a full charge can last between 5 to 7 hours, depending on riding conditions and terrain. As our rider showcases the scooter, you can see its sleek design and strong build, designed to withstand everyday use while providing a comfortable ride. The NIU Pro electric scooter exemplifies the future of commuting, smart, efficient, and eco-friendly. With cutting-edge technology and robust performance, it's a perfect choice for anyone looking to embrace sustainable transportation. So whether you're new to e-scooters or a seasoned rider, the NIU Pro offers an exhilarating ride with the promise of reliability and style. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the latest in green mobility. The moment was brought to you by Rambo, the ultimate in mobile personal protection.
Did I mention we have a website? On our website, you can become a member simply by leaving your name and your email, and you can get a free, that's right, a free digital itinerary. All you have to do is print it out and you got it. This one right here didn't make the cut because I spelled the name Montero wrong. I classically spell things wrong. But as you can see, there's restaurants, there's places to go. You can put this into Google Maps and it'll give you step-by-step stops of where to go in each city and fun things to do, as well as the must-see things. Again, it's free. Also on the website, there's articles, tells you about our travels, about things that are going on. We're also planning on having fun events such as raffles and different things like that as I get swag from these other companies. We were doing a ride from Sausalito to the Golden Gate and over to a beach, and there was this long segue of a hill, and it cut off on me on the hill, which was great because I couldn't make it up the hill anyways, because these scooters aren't really designed for somebody as heavy as me to go up such a steep incline. So I walked it, and by the time I got to the top of the hill, which was maybe a 5-minute walk, and they're pretty light to push, then it was ready to work, and I hopped back on it, and it took me all the way back down the hill. Another feature that I really like is that it has regenerative braking. So as you brake, it charges the battery. Albeit it's a small charge, but when you're going on those all day, every little ounce in the battery counts rides, then that is a deal maker, not a deal breaker. Another thing you'll find in scooters is the decks tend to be real narrow. So my size 10 has a real hard time fitting both feet comfortably, especially for a longer ride. The more narrow, the thinner the deck feels, the more wobbly it gets. And again, when you don't have a good locking mechanism on the column, that makes it feel real flimsy. And then you start thinking like, whoa, if I hit a little pebble, I'm going to go flying. So safety starts to become a factor where you're over analyzing every little squeak, bump, squeal, shake, and you're really getting the speed wobbles when you're going down hills. You're not trusting the brake, and it makes for a terrible riding experience, to the point where we had a friend of the family, my son and his friend, went and took the scooter for a ride, and she got so scared of it, she jumped off the scooter and wound up hurting herself, and the scooter went in the opposite direction. Luckily, it was a big, powerful scooter. Nothing happened to it. But still, these are the things that can happen when you feel unsafe on a scooter. NIU takes care of that. It has a wider deck, and it has a really sturdy feel, along with that column lock that locks it in place. It makes for a very high-end ride and feel that's very comfortable, but it feels very stable. So I feel very safe on it. Like I could take a pothole, I could jump off a curve, and I still feel like I'm going to be safe. So that mental aspect makes my rides a lot more enjoyable. And then when I do start going down hills and going on speed, I feel a lot more comfortable. And it has a bigger motor and 2 disc brakes. The regenerative braking actually helps as well, because what happens with that is it constantly feels like there's a little bit of a drag when you're on the throttle. So when you're braking, you don't have to brake as hard or as much, because it already starts to slow down as soon as you let off the throttle. And the deck lets you kind of feet around and lets you put your butt to the cars like we talked about in other episodes. So you're protecting your vitals. You can do that on these wider, bigger decks, and your feet stay less cramped, let's say. They stay more comfortable because they're on a stable, not as flexible foundation as you ride. And they also have a little bit bigger tires. The one drawback I would say when it comes to scooter tires, and you now have tubeless tires, which are great. Tubes for these particular brand, the stem is bent. It's almost like an L shape. So you need a special tool when you're trying to fill it up. When the inner tube isn't completely full or doesn't have a little bit of air in it, it's real easy for you to try to fill up the inner tube, and then the inner tube goes inside of the wheel, and then you have to fish it back out, and it takes a special tube to take off the tires because they're very tight on the wheel, like a low profile tire, and it's a completely different feel than changing a bike inner tube because it requires different tools, but it also requires a special thing for the stem of the inner tube. So that's kind of a drawback versus having like a tubeless tire. But really, so far, that's my only drawback on a NIU scooter. So you're going to hear when you're shopping for a scooter, lots of claims about battery life, how fast it can go, its performance, its ratings, how big the motor is. It doesn't mean anything until you get on one. And like I told you earlier, it's really mental. So safety is a big deal for me. So if I'm not feeling safe, I'm not going to enjoy the ride. This thing, I feel completely safe. The other thing is the throttle. It has really good zip. So I can get up to speed to my 20 miles per hour pretty fast. Now, this is supposed to go over 20 miles per hour. Now, when I'm going up a slight incline, it's not going to happen because of my body weight, because of the drag from the wind, and a lot of different factors. Maybe the road's not completely smooth. So for you to hit these top speeds on any scooter, it's probably not going to happen unless you're in ideal conditions. And that's the same for battery life. So as your motor draws on the battery, well, when you're going up hills and you're going up rough terrain, it uses more power. So your battery's not going to last as long. So all that is subjective, and the proof's really in the pudding. Talk to somebody that owns one. Find out how long they go on a ride for before it starts to die. If you're going to do night riding, you got a whole nother element. Even at dusk, I turn on the lights. I'll have my running lights on during the day sometimes because safety for me is number one. Well, I have yet to run out of juice. On that ride I was talking to you about, that where we went from Sausalito down to the beach in San Francisco, that was a long ride, and we almost ran out of juice. But we made it, and we took back an Uber. So we did what we came to accomplish. We took a long, fun trip, but then we got to Uber back. And that's the great thing about a scooter. A scooter is foldable, it's collapsible, it's throw it in the back and let's go. And NIU is no different. They fold up, and they have this mechanism that claps, and they're pretty heavy. They're about 30 pounds. So if you lifted it up from the column, when it's folded, you still feel comfortable because of the mechanism that locks it in place in the folded position. You still feel comfortable that it's not going to come unfolded or it's not going to hit you. So those things are easy to move around. A little bit heavier. So when we're talking about night riding, I don't tend to ride when it gets real dark, but sometimes on some of these adventures, you're going to really try to squeeze out every last bit of sunlight. Maybe one of the highlights of your adventure is catching that picture perfect sunset. So you are going to find yourself riding this around evening. Well, the lights on this thing are terrific. The built-in brake lights, the LEDs, and the front light. They have a running light on the front that looks like the light's actually on, but it's not. That's just a running light. And it's like an outer circle. It's like an outer ring on the headlight. Well, on that headlamp, when you turn on the lights, you press the button more than once. I think you press it twice consecutively. And then the headlight turns on, and that's the inside of the ring as well as the outside of the ring are both on. So those are game changers, and they go pretty far, and they're slightly adjustable as well. And it's just a really sleek, sexy looking e-scooter, and it's beefy, so it feels like it can take on anything. So again, when you're out there in Rome, when you're out there in Chinatown in San Francisco, when you're going down the streets of Portland and you're going up these hills and going down these beautiful tree-lined garden areas and these old craftsmen's homes, there's no better way to explore that than on a scooter. And there's really, for the price and the mid-tier level that you're going to get from a NIU scooter, there's no better scooter on the market for it. So let's get cracking.